Some other news for you this hour. Former Old Mutual CEO Peter Moyo is appealing a court ruling in favour of the insurer. The South Gauteng High Court has put aside a July 2019 order which temporarily reinstated Moyo and blocked Old Mutual from finding a new CEO. ENCA's business reporter Heidi Jokos has been tracking this story. Heidi also with me on set this afternoon. And Heidi, let's pick up with how things played out in court today. Very brief, but very important.
Very important because the judge found that the first court order that was handed down by Judge Brian Mashile in July last year should not be upheld, basically dismissing that order, and it basically means it's a win for Old Mutual. So that court order, just to remind our viewers, indicated that Peter Moyer be reinstated temporarily and that Old Mutual is blocked from finding a new CEO. So that the new court order indicates that that order was in fact not legitimate, and they are not upholding that court order, which basically means it's a win for Old Mutual. But there is a big twist to all of this.
But there are more rain clouds gathering over this story. Old Mutual, though, is still quite pleased this afternoon, having won this round.
Yes, they're very pleased. They're basically indicating that they are going to be in the process of finding and appointing a permanent CEO. One must remember that when Peter Moyer was axed from his job last year, they appointed a permanent CEO, a temporary CEO rather, and they indicating that this court judgment and this court ruling is, it just shows Old Mutual that they believe they followed proper processes when dismissing Peter Moyer. Remember, they indicated that they did follow all proper processes, despite the fact that Peter Moyer was saying that he was not given a fair opportunity and a fair disciplinary process before he was dismissed. But let's listen to what Old Mutual had to say today.
As Old Mutual, we welcome this ruling. It confirms that Old Mutual acted properly in terminating Peter Moyer's contract the first time. Importantly, it also provides legal clarity on corporate governance and board stewardship, including the relationship between a board, its executive leadership, in this instance, the CEO of the company. Old Mutual is committed to strengthening governance and the management of conflicts of interest.
They've got permission, Old Mutual, now to perhaps even begin a process to appoint a new CEO, interim or otherwise. But Peter Moyer has already indicated that he will fight what came out of court today. Has he filed those papers?
So we understand that he's filed a notice to Old Mutual indicating that they will be filing papers for leave to appeal on this specific judgment that was handed down in the South Gauteng High Court. That application will be taken to the Supreme Court of Appeal in Bloemfontein. So Peter Moyer is not holding back. He's making it very clear that he understands that this is going to be a very long walk for him, but he's willing to walk this walk. He says that he feels as though parts of the judgments are appealable, and in the morning when we spoke to him, he did indicate that parts of the judgments are appealable and they will need to study the judgments, but about an hour after that they made it very clear that they will be appealing, and that basically means, Timbukile, it's very important to highlight the fact that once an application is put in for leave to appeal, that automatically suspends the current judgments. So the previous status quo, which was the court order brought forward by Judge Brian Mashile saying that Peter Moyer should be temporarily reinstated and barring Old Mutual from appointing a new CEO, that order stands because they've put in an application for leave to appeal suspending today's court order. But let's listen to what Peter Moyer had to say in court.
Like I said, it's a long judgment. We have to study it, regroup with the legal team and take it from there. But like I said, the indications are that we are going to be appealing, and will possibly indicate that within the next 24 to 48 hours.
And Heidi, my head is spinning from the developments on this one front involving Peter Moyer and Old Mutual, but there are two other legal battles going on between them.
Imagine how I feel. I need to go through all of those court papers, and it's like hundreds of pages. But very important to note is the fact that there are two other matters outstanding. It's the delinquency matter, where Peter Moyer wants the entire Old Mutual board to be declared as delinquent, and the second one involves the contempt of court matter, where Peter Moyer is indicating that Old Mutual is in contempt of court of the first court order handed down by Judge Brian Mashile, barring him from returning back to work. Remember, Peter Moyer tried time and time again to go back to work, and he was constantly stopped. So those two applications still need to be heard. So it's still a very long time. Still lots of court papers to read.
Hadi Chakos, I might need something a bit stronger in this class for our next conversation. We are going to stay with that Old Mutual and Peter Moyo story over the coming days and weeks.